no, I'm not going to leave you to deal with anything by yourself. Um, I'm your best friend.
Why
I'm
would
your
you be
shoulder. I'm
willing?
there.
But
I'm there 100%.
why would you be willing to help somebody with something you didn't cause?
It's a lot of things in life that happens to people that there's some things that happen to me that nobody calls. It may be days that I'm not 100% me, and it's gonna be days you're gonna notice that, and I will hope you notice, like, hey, babe, you're not the same. What's going on, and I will be the same way with you. That's your partner's job, is to notice when you're not 100% you.
That's
So
love. I appreciate that. I
hold,
appreciate
hold
it.
on, hold on. This other nurse had.
Okay,
First of
go
all,
ahead.
Sydney, I didn't say anything when you left me for 45 minutes.
Yeah, hold on. Uh, who up next? Mel, can you give me a little something?
Do you
I
care
already
enough
know how
to
you coming, but we need the people to hear it.
Yeah. Do you care enough to help your partner heal from their trauma? Okay. So to be answering it directly, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
But to add additional context, it depends on what it is. It depends on how difficult this is going to be. How deep are you in this? Because yeah, no, I don't want to be equipped to just taking on all your baggage. No.
What about you? What about if you got some
Oh,
things that you got,
ain't
huh?
nobody responsible for my trauma. If I
Not
re- oh,
not responsible, but just being there for you.
no, I don't think somebody got to be there for you while you going through your traumas. You need to
What?
go, if you know that if you can recognize that there's a trauma, that's the first step, is to recognize it. So you're already doing the work yourself. So just do the work. Now what you can do is communicate
There
with
you
your
go.
partner. If you're in a
There you
relationship, you
go.
communicate and you tell them that you've identified this, and that I need to fix this. I don't know if you want to be by
Right,
my
but
side
man,
while I fix it, or
but look, that's kind of help though. If you think about what you're saying, you help.
but I'm helping myself with my trauma though.
I know, but I'm saying if you communicate that, that's help. Because now you was building the fact that you willing to help the person, you building that communication. So I get what you saying, like take it all. I don't mean necessarily like that. I'm just asking based on how we was talking yesterday and just trying to see if we care about each other and I rock with you. You see what I'm saying? Because I was
Right.
looking, I wanted to talk about that piece, but we couldn't. So try to switch the topic, but I know you saying y'all. I know everybody heard about your man that did that. He
With the
had,
girl, with the woman?
yeah,
Yeah, in Atlanta?
yeah. So do you
Yeah.
think? Okay, do you think you could clearly see? Don't you think it was some trauma there?
Yeah, but I think on both of their ends it
Right, that's
was
what I'm
trauma.
saying. Right.
Yeah.
So do you think they was dealing with? That's not no first time situation. Do you
Oh
feel like
no.
they got a history of? I don't know. I wasn't there,
Absolutely.
but
By the
right.
way,
So
because he said, he literally, when I watched it for the first time,
I ain't
and
watching,
he
so I
said what
don't
he
know.
said, he told her to stop. He said, if you don't stop, I'm a unalive you. And oh y'all, I guess y'all can't know because he said he gonna unalive. Like, she totally dismissed how he felt. Me watching the video, I knew he wasn't playing. I would have shut up. But the fact that she kept going, I'm like, you used to test in the waters here.
Right. So what was that though? Like that was heavy for it to end like how it ended. I read about it, but I
Yeah.
didn't watch it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That girl was my sister's client. She used to do
Whoa,
her
whoa, whoa,
hair,
whoa,
her
whoa, whoa,
dreadlocks,
whoa. Hold on,
What?
whoa, whoa.
and she always used to come. Yeah, yeah,
Wait, you
yeah,
said that
yeah.
was wait,
And that
wait.
girl used to always come in. I'm serious. She used to always come in there and complain about how bad their relationship was, and she used to be a CO actually. Never mind, I ain't gonna get all into that. But it was a bad situation. So that's not helping somebody heal. That's just living in a toxic environment. That's not healing.
You talking about
That
the
right
same
there
thing we
is
talking
totally
about?
different from helping somebody.
Are you
Yeah, the one
talking
in
about the
Atlanta.
same
Yes,
thing
my
we
sister
talking
used to do
about?
her hair. Yes, the
Oh wow.
dude that unalived her on the live or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's him.
Wow.
That's
You know them people?
yeah. She used to do her hair. I don't personally. I've seen her before. I don't know her, but my sister that was my sister's client for a long time.
The girl
Wow.
was?
Yeah.
Small world.
Yes.
Oh, I'm on the ground.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So this is a toxic, and it was a toxic relationship
Right.
all the way around. It wasn't just, it was not just
yeah, I
something
was talking about.
that just happened, and no.
Yeah, you could tell by the way she was
This has
talking
been an
that this is
ongoing
what they
problem.
do to each other.
So I don't know the
Yes,
story,
that
but
is not healthy.
I did do a little research on it, and I put it up, and you would think that the people in the comments would have took a side, but it's a lot of comments on it. They didn't take a side. They really kind of empathetic towards the situation, and I'm like, whoa, what is that? So that's what made me, and my man had
Yeah, because it
stopped
was
it.
more to it. It was way more to it. That's not healthy. That's not a healthy type of
Right.
healing with somebody. That's toxicity.
Yeah.
That's not something that anybody should be dealing with. It's time to
Right.
part ways if it's like that.
Yeah, they
I don't
should have
want
been
to argue
separated a
with
long
you.
time
I
ago.
don't want these things going on. I'm not going to raise. Thank you, Melanie. I'm not going to raise my voice at a man. I'm just not going to do that.
Right.
And I don't expect him to raise his at me. If
So
we can't communicate, then anything outside of that, that's toxic.
So you know a little more about it than I
Yeah.
know. Maybe we know, right? So let me ask you something. That's why I was going to ask you. I felt
Yes.
like it was toxic, but I said, man, I took the trauma. I'm like, damn, they dealing with a lot of trauma. Let me ask you something. Do you? What
Hmm.
it seemed like they was cool when I was reading it. It seemed like they was cool. I read his mom. I've just been reading it, but I was like, okay, what happened? And I posted it, and I was just telling people, I don't know all that, I just seen it, I read it, and I posted. I felt like they going on the internet with it. Maybe you shouldn't have went on the internet with it. So I said, it's not. You
That was
feel
all the
that?
time, though. This,
Huh?
yeah,
Come on.
that was
I ain't
all
hear
the
you.
time, and it was a big secret that she said that if you listen to some of the lives, it was a big secret at the
I
end
ain't,
that she
I ain't
revealed,
listening to
and then
none of
that's
that.
when the live cut off, and that's when it happened.
No, I
Yeah.
ain't
See there,
listening.
y'all. If you listen to a certain part, she called a name. That name was significant. But see, people down this way, we know that name, and
Right,
we know
right.
why.
No, I ain't listening.
So yeah.
Okay.
So anything like that toxic, that's not healthy. That's some signs of get away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that was a deep situation. Hey, team, and Rachel and MD. I know you said, and Floyd. How y'all doing, man? Y'all can speak if y'all want. Y'all want to. Echo.
TC, you got a really bad echo.
No, hold on. Give me a second. I ain't hear you. I ain't hear nobody. The phone jumped off. That was
He got a really bad echo. Team CC or TCC?
that's Miss Rachel. Come on, Miss Rachel.
How you doing this evening?
Okay.
It's refreshing to kind of see something that says about care, right? I feel like there's so much battle and lately and some negative things, but do you care enough to help your partner heal from their trauma? And just to answer answer is yes, but I do believe there's limitations to what another human being can do in terms of healing, right?
I appreciate that. Can you give us some enlightenment?
Just my own personal truth. I believe that the creator, there's a deep seed inside of all of us that only he can touch, satisfy, feel, and heal. There's probably some things I can't necessarily understand, but I can empathize with you. And if you've done the work to really go to him and also to um, take the time to heal from oneself, no matter what the circumstances is, then I could come alongside you and definitely nurture and foster that continued environment for that healing phase. But at the same time, I think we need to be mindful if we are healing, does it make sense for us to engage another partner? Then maybe that's a whole nother live, but just food
No,
for
no,
thought.
no, 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 no. That's what we like. Because what I learned, sister, is people. You'll be surprised. Some of the I don't share people personal business, but you'll be surprised some of the inboxes I get, and some of the things you may deem. No, I don't want to do that, but it might help somebody. You see what I'm saying?
Sure, sure.
People get
I
in.
was just going to say it succinctly that if I'm in a healing phase, I want to take that time to make sure that wound doesn't bleed over on the other person, so to speak,
Wow.
right? So I'm not that I'm busy licking my wounds, but I'm trying to sort out some very difficult feelings and take accountability where I need to, acceptance where I need to. How am I going to maneuver next time? I don't want to hurt unintentionally the person next to me. I very well could lash out on you with misplaced anger, so I want to protect that person.
That's
So
what's up. You got it's a level of empathy there. Let me ask you this. Did you grow? Well, I mean, we all grow, but how long have you felt like this? Did something teach you this, like going through something? Or you was able
absolutely.
to? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely that. And I'll say this to you, host. I can distinctly know for myself what's traumatic versus my feelings were hurt.
Okay.
I don't want to overuse the word trauma or minimize it for my own personal self. I
Okay.
need to know what's the difference, right?
Gotcha.
But it is something that's kind of learned along the way, through life and wisdom. And I mean, I'm not a perfect person, hence why I need God, right? I've fallen short many a times. Help me to realize where I need to course correct and to act with obedience quickly.
Thank you, sister. All right. This your first time here?
Yes, sir, it is. I've been on your lives before, or not on your lives, but I've listened to you before, followed you. So thank you for having me.
Well, we appreciate you. We go lives. We try to stay on the rails, but sometimes it get a little rough.
I
But
understand.
Welcome, Rachel.
Hey,
Don't
lady.
don't go nowhere now. You are here to stay.
Oh, you're
come on,
sweet. Thank
come on,
you.
Thriving. Can you speak to us?
Yeah, sure. Hi
Come on.
everyone. How are y'all doing?
Okay.
I have to tell y'all, you guys have just saved me from taking a nap. I was feeling so tired, and then I'm like, I wonder if Play's up. Then I'm
I've
like,
been looking
I
for
can't.
you. I've been looking for you. I'm sorry I ain't see you on the live in a few days.
No, I was here. I've been here a few
No,
times.
not over here with me. I was saying when you be
Oh,
doing.
no, I do mine on the weekends.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
the only, because it takes so, I don't know how y'all do it every day and sit here and stay composed and focus. I can't do it, y'all.
I got you. I got you.
Cool. I'm giving my heart to you. So this is where it gets tricky, right? There's a lot of context that I feel are missing when we have a topics like this. Not that they're bad topics. It's just, it makes you think, right? Do you care? Of someone, right? You have to care. Why are you with them if you don't care about them? And but then it says enough to help. Help how? First of all, before we get into a relationship, we have to really understand. I think there's conversations that people don't have, and then later on they find out that they should have those conversations. And I think health and wellness is one of them. Understanding each person, how they deal with their health and their wellness and the challenges that they may face. And trauma is part of that wellness piece, right? It's one thing to want to help someone and to care about them, but if they're not in a space where they're ready or they're open, you could actually cause more harm than help. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about trauma, right, like I shared with you before, it takes time to heal from it. All you can do as a partner is meet that person where they're at in that stage, and also offer the help in which they're asking for, they're open to. Otherwise, what ends up happening, it creates more contention, and somebody can feel like you're looking down to them, or you're seeing them not being enough, or you know what I'm saying? So it's a very delicate situation. You have to ask permission. I am here for you in this situation. And by the way, trauma is not something, it's not just maybe that you grew up with it or whatever. You could lose a parent or a best friend. That's traumatic, right? And you have to learn how that person is grieving, how they're handling it, and then you have to make yourself available. I am here if you need me. What can I do for you? And sometimes it might just be you cooking their favorite meal or drawing them a bath, or when you sit them down, giving that shoulder massage or something, just to let them know they're not alone. Other times it may be going to therapy together, and it's really involved in journaling and doing different therapies and stuff like that. So you have to read the environment, you have to read the room, understand your partner and what they need in that moment. And it's not easy. It really
Right,
isn't.
because I was listening to you, the way you breaking it down, and the other young lady, right? But what if a person not equipped? What if I love you, but I'm not equipped to be able to facilitate the type of, you just breaking it down real eloquently. And Rachel was speaking earlier. What if your spouse or your significant other not equipped? They want to help. They got love. Is love enough? And they not equipped to be able to have a certain level of discernment that you just displayed.
The responsibility then goes to me, who is dealing with the trauma, to understand that, hey, my spouse can only support me in these areas, and I'm going to have to give him grace, and not have unrealistic expectations. Communication is very, very important in relationships.
So did you just hear us talking about that situation? I hope everybody know what situation we talking about, but do you know what situation we talking about?
Yes.
So did you see it, or did you watch it, or no?
I did watch a little bit of it. And it's unfortunate. It's a very, very sad situation.
So I
But
know
what
you
that
can't. Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was
Um,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
that type of situation happens when you have two unhealed people, two traumatized people coming together in a relationship. And like Christina said, it's just toxicity. And that's all they know. And unfortunately, remember when I gave you the analogy the other day of the race, the 5K race?
Yes,
Those
I like
two
that.
have blindfolds on. Those two have blindfolds on. They were going through life blind, and a blind person cannot help the other blind person.
Right. So I wanted to ask you, do you think in that instance it could have been a way out? Or do you think that's ultimately had to happen? Because I always try to, okay, I don't want to say it. Go ahead. That's why I asked.
If she would have, because there was other comments that she had mentioned before, that he could have unalived her. She had asked for help before, saying, hey, I do not want to be unalived, my kids need me. So her instincts told her that something was, our instincts are, we have six senses, I think, that something could go that route. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. But yet she did not do anything about it, or change, or get out of that environment. And even when he gave her a warning, she did not heed to that warning, right? So all that stuff could have been avoided if we actually really listen and take the time and see what's at stake. Now her kids are going to grow up with that, both of them, and the trauma continues.
So I did talk to one of her family members, and I am going to probably share this part, but help was offered a few times. But this is why I try to tell people, when
prior to
picking a partner, and you know that it's not really going anywhere, you gotta run. I don't care how many promises they make on either side. If it's just that toxic, that bad, there's nothing good going to come out of that at all. I don't care who promises to do this one day, who promises to do that the next day. It's just time to go. There's a difference between helping someone heal from trauma that happens, because like I said, trauma happens throughout life. And there's another difference in just living in traumatic situations and constantly creating them for each other. That is totally different.
Right.
Yeah. So it was a lot of mess on that. Yeah, that was a lot of mess. A lot of stuff could have been avoided, but unfortunately it wasn't. And those some pretty kids, but they don't have their mom.
was they his kids, or we don't know?
I think I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to ask my sister about it, but I do know that she used to come. Yeah, I don't try to get that into it or whatever like that. If I'm listening, if I'm at her shop or something, I'm listening, But I mean, I just listen. But it was a bad situation for a long time. She lost a lot behind that too when they first got together too. So she knew from the beginning it wasn't right. So she lost a good job. She lost a lot of stuff trying to do this relationship with him. And from the beginning, that's why we got to learn how to make better decisions with people in relationships and invite them into our lives. Because some people come for destruction. They just do.
And to
They don't
listen,
come to add value. They come to destruct.
I think to listen to our
Go
intuition.
ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, Miss Christina,
Yes.
to listen to our intuition, to listen to, I'll just quickly share that I remember exactly where I was at when I was in college, and there was a gentleman that I was really interested in, and he had all of the ingredients of liking, and something inside me, which I know now really to be God, the spirit telling me, Rachel, that is not for you. That's not for you. But why you're arguing with it? Long story short, I ate the fruit anyways.
Wow.
And years later, I understood what God was trying to tell me. I am not here to withhold anything from you, Rachel, but you have to quickly obey. And that's that intuition I'm talking about. Like, it's almost a violation of self. Don't find out what the lesson is over there.
I absolutely believe that. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Wow. Was it some, without going into detail, was it something bad or was it just
Wasted time. But I'm not going to wallow in regret because gratefully and thankfully I come out pretty unscathed. But it wasn't like I was in an abusive relationship and all, nothing like that. But it's just we had misaligned common goals, right? And being a woman, if you want to produce children and so many other expectations and sometimes societal pressures that I think that's a whole nother subject matter, you are on a clock. Just biologically, you're on a clock. So we have to be very guarded with our time. And I was young and wasn't wise enough at the time to know. I just lost my father, and I kind of looked at him as a protector and a shield. But God showed me, I'm your first husband, and I'll always protect you.
this made you a better person? Sound
It
like
has. It has. It definitely has. So, and I still have love for him.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I still have love for this person. No ill feelings. I refuse to be bitter because that's just ugly, right? And I tell you one other thing, and I'll land my plane. It wasn't all bad, because if it was all bad, you wouldn't have stayed for that long. You know what I'm saying? So there was something good.
So let me ask you something, right? I hear we'll say that a lot, like we'll get this sign where we shouldn't do it. And based on the experience you just explained to us you had, let me ask you this. You just gave credit to that making you better, right? Do you feel you could have got that piece of the betterness without going through that?
That's a great question. That's a great question. And maybe that specific lesson I wouldn't have learned without going through it. So I'll be grateful for that. But I do believe some heartache could have been avoided, and some lessons just to trust and obey. So I can't really speak on it. I guess I'm just a product of my environment and the choices I've made. But I like I said, I just want to be a better person for it.
I appreciate that response because that's a great response because we get it. We get it. A lot of that. Come on, brother. I see you just came in. Come on. How you doing, boss?
Man, what's up with you, fam? How you feeling, Clay? What up, everybody?
You already know.
Yes, sir, man. Man, you had asked a question that I was gonna actually kind of go into, man. I found that in the mix of that, when you trying to help somebody go through it, when you got that type of patience. I mean, it don't initially come with you. Some people would do, but it's like a learning process. You get into that situation with somebody, you'll find that it's a lot of things about yourself that ain't good.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like the whole thing, like we talked about the thing about love, right? I know a lot of people tend to make the word love super subjective based upon a person's opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's relative unto them. But it does have an objective meaning from a biblical standpoint, in which I stand on that one. It talks about it being patient and compassionate and these other things. And oftentimes you be in that relationship with somebody and finding yourself getting frustrated and angry. You be like, man, do I actually really do love this person? Like I say I do and all of that. Um, and you would learn things about yourself, man. And it'll make you better. And in turn with that person too. When y'all can weather a storm together, man. Oh man. It's a passage in the word that says a threefold cord is not easily broken. You know what I'm saying? And that means if you and that person and y'all got God and y'all working on it, knowing each other got baggage, but y'all working on it, man, y'all can make something that nobody can take away from y'all. But you'll find a lot out about yourself while you're trying to help somebody else heal through their trauma. Because you definitely going to take some friendly fire in the midst of that. A lot of friendly fire.
Wow, that's what's up. It's a few people haven't spoken. You guys can just come on in and speak if you would like to. Come on, Scully.
Like, you know what, man, from my situation, man, from being going through a divorce and everything, I think you have to, I didn't want to bring, I didn't want to bring someone into a situation of me not being healed and deal with my trauma. So this is where if you're helping someone deal with their trauma, whereas it's either DV, um, um, someone being cheated on, or whatever it is, you can help so much as a non-professional human being to a point where you say, you know what, I can no longer, you need more help than what I can give you. So then you have to turn over to the professionals. You have to. Because when you do that, that can also be draining for you. That can drain you and will force you to leave the relationship because now it has drained you.
That's deep.
It has now drained you.
That's deep, man.
Now you need therapy now
Wow.
because it has drained you. So um, when you're trying to help a person, it's just it's it's just so much a non-professional person can do when you have to go to therapy. In my situation, I didn't want to bring anybody else into the fold. I tell been in therapy for a year and a half because at first I, I did not want to get married again. Second, my view of women was totally bad. So I had to deprogram myself, which I'm now fine. I understand what I did wrong on my end, and I do understand that all women are not the same. Because when I was going through this, I was putting all women in one bag, and you can't do that. That's wrong. Just like women are supposed to put all men in one bag when they had gone through something. So I had to, okay, you know what? You're right. Everyone is not the same. So with me
How you
going
get
through
there
that,
where you in, Scope? Hold on. Hold on. You said something that's important. How you get there to be able to
man,
distinguish what you just distinguished?
okay, brother, it has to go through self and therapy. Man, therapy, I go to therapy every Thursday. I've been going for a year and a half faithfully
Wow.
every Thursday,
Wow.
and it has helped me. And a lot of self-reflection,
I salute you,
uh,
family. I ain't know that.
bec-
You disclosed
bec-
that. I ain't know that. That's what's up,
bec-
bro.
because for me, um, it it was just I was blaming the whole failure of the marriage on me, and come to find out, my therapist was saying, Darren, you cannot take the weight of this loss in your marriage. You cannot take the weight. You cannot. You cannot. So once I found that out and figured that out, I forgave myself and I forgave her. So talking talking to her recently, I noticed that she still believes that she did nothing wrong in the marriage. She did nothing wrong.
Wow.
So out of 10 years, you did nothing wrong. So this was my way of saying, you know what? I don't want to I don't want to deal with a woman that has no accountability. It's an accountability issue for me. So that's one of my red flags. I'm not dealing with a woman that has no accountability.
Hmm.
I'm not dealing with a woman that is a liability. And I'm not dealing with a woman that is not is that that has no stability. Those are my three red flags moving forward. Now, I will get married again because I'm okay with it. I'm good with it. But I'm still working on myself. So I didn't want to bring anybody into the fold until I was, you know what? Okay, cool. I can now venture back out. I can put my boots back on and go back outdoors. If you know what I mean. I put my boots on and go back outside.
I
Okay.
got you.
Because if I would have tried to do this and not get the help, man, that's just it's bad. It would have been bad on all parts.
Let me ask you one more question, Sco.
Yes, sir.
What made you go to therapy? What helped you make that decision? Because what I noticed is over talking to people over the years, a lot of people we got a bad connotation attached to therapy, and so many people think you trying to say something about them, and you might not be coming off condescending. You might just be at peace. What made you make a decision to do that? Did somebody help you make that decision outside of your situation, or was it
You know,
something within you and your spiritual connection? What helped you make that decision?
there was something within me play because I said, you know what? Um, I have to I have to correct this. My issues that I had to correct because I did not want to take the issues that I know that I have into another relationship. So I was like, okay, I'm going to call. I went through a couple of people and I did my research and I have a bright, well educated sister that's, you know, she helps me. Now I like her because she'll call me on my big. If I'm saying something that sounds foolish, she's gonna say, Darren, that's BS. For go ahead, keep talking. So she gonna call me on my foolishness. If it don't sound right, she wanna know why I think like that, and then she's gonna try to change my thought pattern.
Wow,
She's not just gonna go at it because Blue Cross and Blue Shield is paying for it. She's
gotcha.
gonna call me. In other words, she's gonna call me on my bullshit. You know
That's
what I'm saying? She I was at therapy last week and I said something. She said, Darren, that's bullshit what you just said. You know that don't sound right.
that.
I thought about it. I said, yeah, you're right. That don't sound too kosher. That don't sound too kosher. So I had to take those things that I step back and reflect on for myself. But if I would have went into a relationship with a woman not healed and she's trying to help me, not let alone what a relationship would be, this young lady would in turn need therapy now because I would have ruined her. In my thought process, I would have ruined her. I would have ruined a young lady, and I didn't want to do that. So I didn't bring anybody to the fold. So as a man, we have wants and needs too, but you have to have some kind of restraint and not bring anybody into the fold
Yes.
until you get yourself, until you get your boots back on, laced up correctly. You can't go into a relationship, you got on a white sock and a black sock, shit, orange pants, blue shirt. You gotta be matching head to toe. So you know how we do. You gotta be matching head to toe, man. So you gotta make sure you're proper.
Right.
Because if you don't do that, you not let alone you're gonna damage yourself more, but you're also gonna wreck that person. And that goes both ways. That goes both ways. That goes both ways, brother. So for me, um, as black men, we need therapy for what's going on around us. It doesn't have to do anything with a relationship. We need it just for dealing with everyday life, especially for our black men. We need it. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not ashamed to tell people at work, hey man, I had a good therapy session yesterday. And you'd be surprised of how some of the younger my little nephews that would be like, oh, what's wrong, man? What's wrong? Why you going to therapy? I said, man, to better myself. To better myself. They said, man, you're not ashamed to tell nobody? I said, no. Why should I be ashamed to tell somebody? Why should I be? Everybody needs help. A foolish man suffers in silence. A foolish man suffers in silence.
True.
I refuse to be a foolish man. I'm going to get whatever I need. So when I come back out into the world, come back out with the young lady, I'm still a work in progress, but I'm nowhere near what I was a year and a half, 2 years ago. I'm nowhere near where I was because like I said, play my whole view of marriage and women was horrible. Man, I mean bad.
I got you.
So that's that, brother. Everybody needs help. You know, and like I said, there's so much your person, your spouse, your girlfriend, your spouse can do before
Yeah,
you have to bring in someone
yeah,
who has the professional background to help.
yeah,
That's all.
yeah,
That's all.
yeah. Salute, brother. That's a big salute. It's a few people here that haven't had a chance. If you guys want a chance, you can come on up. Otherwise, I seen Miss Wilson come off the mic. You want to speak, sister? Daily Love, you there? You guys can speak if you want.
Yes, I'm here.
Come on.
I just want to say, in order to help a person heal, they first have to acknowledge the fact that they have to help themselves. They have to acknowledge the fact that they got to be in tune with their emotions, and you have to be able to control your emotions and regain control of your emotions so you can reshape your life and your heart in order for it to be the way you desire it. So with that, with the young lady and that man, it was a dysfunctional relationship, and you could tell they ignored the signs. And when you ignore the signs, that's when trouble fall and hit deeply. But you have to be in tune with yourself first, and you have to be able to control yourself and every situation you endure or put yourself in. Just don't ignore the red flags at all.
Uh, Floyd, Floyd, come on, sister.
Yeah, yeah, that's just like that. I sent you a topic before similar to that. Guy at a restaurant out with his girl, and
When you get time, try to send it again. You might be. I've just learned how to check something called request. I just learned how
yeah,
to do this last week. Somebody showed me, so it's a lot of messages in there. Just send it again, and maybe I can accept it. Then we can be
yeah,
messaging
I'll
each
send it
other.
again.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, out at a restaurant, and she starts throwing her tantrum, putting her hands in your face and everything. And I was like, should I step to her level or get up, go pay the check? Go, like, hey, come on, it's time to go. Either you coming with me or you're not. We're leaving now. Boom.
The second one.
Yeah, and or if I have to, I'll leave you there. Find your way home. But women are out here and they want to be women, but yet they want to take a man's role and jump up in your face and take things too far. They gonna they have to stop doing that, and the guys have to be able to control that also, and try not to get to that point. When it gets to that point, it's time to walk away. You just got to walk away and say, you know what, I'm done. And like I was messing with a female. She ended up getting sick. I moved her into my place. She wanted to get married and have kids. I was like, but she the one to clean the house. She got her place. I got my place. Well, this ain't my place. I'm not cleaning it, but you're living here. Yeah, you have your own place, but you're not at your place. You're at my place, our place, but you want to clean. But yet, when we go to your house once a month, you want me to take out the trash, help you do the dishes, help you cook and everything, but you're not doing it where you lay your head every night. And I'm like, well, it's time to walk away. Either you go your way, I'll go my way.
Did she add value to you in other areas outside of the cleaning?
Yeah, but you can't complain that I'm not helping you clean your house and we're not living in your house. We're living in my place. Now it's our place. But how you not gonna clean up here, but you're gonna go somewhere else, even though it's yours, and you're not here every day, and want to clean up there? You gotta clean where you lay your head. If you want this, you want a husband, but you don't want to be a wife.
How
If
did
you,
that make you feel, and how long did you deal with it?
I did it with it for a while, and it was upsetting, but and I was like, look, if you, all right, you want to do you, you do you. You could do you from your place. I could do me from my place. But I dealt with it for a while because there was other aspects of it. That was just one of the things that she always grabbed about and wanted to complain about. But some some things we deal with and we move on. Some
Yes.
things we don't deal with.
That's why I asked that. That's why I asked that question because I know we all got a certain level of flaws in us. We just
Yeah,
got to learn which ones we can deal with while dealing with each other. You know what I mean?
yeah. I moved her into my place because she had major surgery and she lived on the third floor, and that means she had to come down 3 flights of stairs to let people into the house, like family and stuff. I was like, hey, come over to my place. Hey, all you gotta do is
Wait,
hit the
hold
bell
on,
for me.
brother. Wait, hold on. You said she had surgery?
Yeah.
I might have missed that, but she can't clean up after the surgery now.
No, no, this was before. This was earlier when.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to get you, brother. I
Yeah,
was about to get
I
you.
know, I know. Well, no, when she had surgery, she ain't doing nothing but laying and resting. That's why I
Yeah,
moved her into my place
all right.
so that she can have have family come over and friends to visit, and she don't have to walk up 3 flights of stairs.
Got you. Got you. How you doing
Yeah.
now?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good now.
That's good. Okay. Well, we like the transparency, man. We like to, we like to try to communicate and talk to each other. D Town, you want to speak, brother?
My G, what up, my G? How are y'all doing today, man? Oh man, you already know me from probably Instagram. You know, I ain't gonna post it out there.
Yeah, I know you
Yeah, but
found.
I'm gonna give y'all a story, man. This guy to guy, fella to fella, father to father, husband to husband. Me, my 2 daughters, and my wife was at the bar. It's a true story. You know, drinks, all that involved. I sang my karaoke. I'm not paying attention to what's going on in the crowd. Something bothered my wife. I got back to the table. Baby said something about a group of young ladies that was to the table next to them, my daughter. I couldn't control what's going on, you did. But one thing I do appreciate is that she didn't disrespect me in public over something I ain't had no control of. Now she did leave. She left. Oh, baby left my ass. I rolled with her. I'm glad my daughters came. Hey, man, I was out of there. I was like, baby, I ain't got nothing. I don't know what's going on with these women. That's the times we live in right now. Well, a lot of ladies are overly disrespectful.
Right.
Overly did. Like, I ain't got no control, and I ain't no Denzel Washington. I sure ain't no Tay Diggs.
Right.
But I'm like, the level of disrespect. Like, my woman is a nice looking woman, and it seems like we living in the times to where so many women. I've heard of women say in public, "I'm gonna do him like I got done. I'm gonna do him like he did me." I'm talking about. I'm saying, and while she's saying that, it's a group of women with her agreeing with her. Y'all feel where I'm going with this? Where we're going? So it's like to trauma. Everybody got trauma. I don't care whether it's from your mama, your dad, or tearing your backside up, whatever. It ain't my job to heal you. It's my job to move forward with you. Now, if you want to stay backwards, I'm gonna put you on that back end, man, and let you sit back there. I'm not responsible for healing nothing. I ain't the Lord, your Savior, Jesus Christ. Either you gonna follow my lead or you gonna leave yourself behind. It's that simple.
How
It's
long
that
y'all?
simple.
How long y'all was locked in?
Who, baby?
Yeah.
Still locked in. 23 years and counting.
Oh, congratulations.
Well,
Ain't no congratulations. That ain't easy. Cause like you can just look at her face like, baby got a little mouth on her. But I can afford her level of disrespect.
no, the lady just gave you grace, man. You gotta.
Man, I'm telling people nowadays, man, don't do it unless you already been with her. See, I've been knowing baby.
Right, but she letting you know that she hear you what you saying, and it's a good thing that you was able to, because most people would check out. I thought you was going the other route.
Nah, I ain't going no other route. I'm just telling you, like, we all gonna take some level of disrespect as a man. Like me, I felt disrespected, but not disrespected to the point where other people noticed that I felt disrespected. You feel me? She didn't make no scene, didn't loud talking nothing, baby. Just got up and left. Now you got them suckers out there that cause a whole nother scene, man. I'm talking about true story. I was just at the bar this Friday weekend. I was just at the bar. Girl get up from the table, walk to the back corner by the restroom, holler at another dude. Her dude catch on to it. She go tell her dude, that's just my homeboy. What you think happened?
They had a confrontation.
I left the bar for 20 minutes. 'Cause I stay right around the corner. I left the bar, let it die down. I came back. I knew it was finna happen. When I seen her, but I seen it with my own eye. Cause she was a fairly decently young lady, so you can spot her. When I seen her go back to that corner, I said, "Ooh!" I looked at her dude. Cause anything you got that's looking like, I watch my lady. I don't care if she finna go to the gas station, the corner store. I'm watching where you're going. And y'all will intentionally do things knowing that like you being
No, look,
watched.
hold on. Do you trust your lady?
I don't trust nobody. You crazy? The first time I trust her is gonna be the last time she gonna show me I can trust her.
Okay, all right.
You know, I'm old school. I'm 42. What trust got to do with what I got to do for her? They ain't got nothing to do with it. Out of sight, out of mind. If I don't know, it won't hurt me.
Mm,
I don't go looking for nothing. I don't do no cell phones. Ain't no lock code on my phone. I done already proved, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, forget me. Cause I'm rare. I'm like, we like a unicorn in our day and age. This type of stuff don't happen. Everybody player, pimp, or a hot girl summer nowadays. Everybody got an opinion or a politic on a relationship, but ain't standing 5 years with nothing.
right,
Can't even keep a cutty buddy 2 years.
right.
It's not about the trust. It's about I know what I have to do because we've been locked in so long. It's past trust, man. It's like, hey, this it. Ain't nothing about trust. This is a must. You feel me?
I see.
It's all or nothing. It has nothing to do with trust. I'm invested past the point of no repair. If this go wrong, oh, I'm going to the crazy house.
What you mean by that?
Well, I done invested everything into this one. And if this one chose to say, you know what? I'm done. Oh, I'm hurt damn bad.
But you'll be all right. You know that, don't
But it's gonna take a little second to shake back because she gonna take all the things I
you?
need to stand 10 toes down after 24 hours. I gotta leave the house. I gotta give her the car. I gotta go get in the room. You feel me? We being realistic and honest now.
I hear you. Come on.
D-Town. Who
Yes,
told
sir.
you, brother? Who told you, brother, you got to give up everything, man, if she walk away? No, you
No,
don't.
I'm just saying in the
No,
state of
you don't.
Texas, I'm just saying, look, I'm not gonna go back and forth with that. When I'm telling what I'm gonna give to make everything easy, if was a fifth, here, go on do it because I done seen divorce happen. I'm not gonna lag it out.
Well,
Go take
everybody ain't got that. Everybody
yeah.
don't. That.
Yeah, everybody don't think like me. Go on, take what you gotta take and move around so we can go on. If was a fifth, we gotta do this. I'm not gonna drag nothing out. You feel me? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna debate with no man over no divorce. That's what a lot of men lose. Man, give her whatever she asked for so you can go and get over with. She gonna hit you for something anyway. Especially if she's upright and righteous and standing for something. Oh, you damn bad off top. Sit here and ask me about what you going. Man, please, I ain't no TikTok famous person. I'm real live with this pimping proper. Boy, better stand down.
Watch that boy conversation too, young man. I'm
Self.
older than you.
Yes, sir.
I'm older than you. I'm
Yes,
I'm
sir.
way older than you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I ain't mean to say boy like that. I'm just from Texas. So, boy.
Okay. I get you. But that boy comment is crucial.
Man, we on social media, boy. I go hard on
Okay.
her.
I heard that. I heard that.
This is social media, bro. I don't take this serious, bro. We both behind screens. I appreciate you, though, for
Yeah.
listening. And I pass with that.
I
You know
appreciate
what?
that.
D-Town has been here before. I don't know why you guys don't remember him. He's hilarious for one, and he's been with his lady for a long time. So when he says it's beyond trust, to me, how I understand it is they
Right,
become one. This is a
right,
pure definition of being one. They're one flesh, literally,
right. That's why
merged
I let him.
together fully.
That's why I
So
let him.
that's
That's
a
why I let
beautiful
him
thing.
speak his piece. Come on, who want A1? You just came up. Come on, brother.
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on? Says, do you care enough to help your partner heal from their trauma? Uh, fuck no. No, I ain't doing it. Look, man, I ain't look, if I already see you even got some trauma, right? A whole lot of trauma to begin with, we dang sure ain't gonna be no partners, let alone no wife. You
But
know,
why you?
just
A1. Why you go bad with it? We ain't. It wasn't no. It ain't no percentage up there. Let's just say it's not that bad. It's kind of it's not super like you said a whole lot. It's just a general question. It ain't got to be that bad.
oh no, I mean, no, no, I wouldn't, bro. I ain't got no time for that. I don't have no time for no weak woman. just being blunt with y'all, brother deal with enough out here as it is, right? You know, being blunt, not being facetious. I mean, particularly these sisters, these most of the modern women nowadays. I mean, if you their partner, or the husband, and you snore too loud, I mean, they're gonna have a sleeping trauma, right? Everything. If you raise your voice at them, you traumatize them. They got to go to counseling. And I'm being honest. I'm saying it funny, but I'm being honest.
You think. So you trying to say people just throwing trauma around?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Well, we all mature. I don't think it's no kids in here, but we seem to be all mature. So it, I'm thinking that we all on the same thought process level. We trying to
Right.
make this a real word that we all understand. However, you got a point.
Oh, oh,
I've seen people, crush
okay.
these things that just. But
I
let's
have.
just say if she had a little something she was dealing with, right? Like you met a lady, y'all hit it off, and you find out that her mama passed 5 years ago, and she's still dealing with a certain level of things as a result. Not what she wilding out on you, but it's still a level of pain and hurt there that she still deal with a certain type of way. You saying you a step off, even though, you know,
Okay. Look, and I'm be 100 with you.
come on. I don't want
A
you to be,
big,
I
a
don't want you
big
to be
part,
99. Give me the 100.
a big part of it is my grandmother, and she raised us. She was hard. She was born 1909, and I'm glad for that, right? Two, I mean, I'll be honest, probably a part of it is, hey, I was in penitentiary 21 years, right? I don't do well with the weak stuff, right? I believe if you're dealing with something, I mean, I can't say it no better than this. Even for women, man, just suck that shit up. I don't want to hear it. Deal with it. I mean, that's just life, man. And I know that's kind of harsh. I just, I don't. How do you deal with it otherwise? I don't. All that old being soft stuff. I ain't. I don't be feeling it. My
Well, why
wife
you
knows
think,
this.
hold on, why you think it's soft to deal with a young lady that, you just trying to be there for and help her?
Oh, I do that, but I'm gonna do it in silence. I mean, what?
That's fine, but that still helps. See, that still
Okay,
helps though.
okay, yeah, I do that. I be there in silence. I can do
Okay?
that. I
Yeah.
don't talking and all that. I don't.
I go to a
I
lot of,
ain't
I've
really
been to a
feeling
lot
that.
of places where people pass away, brother. I might not say nothing. I just walk up to them and hug them if I can.
Yeah,
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 but that's
that's
cool,
what I'm
brother.
talking
That's
about.
cool though. But
All
that's
right,
that's
all right.
cool. Yeah, come on, come on.
I mean, that's it. I land with that. Yeah, yeah, I can be there. I can be there in silence, and like you said, yeah, when they talk about men can cry and stuff like that, I don't dispute that, brother. My father passed. It's nothing wrong. I don't know why people make big issues of it because it's cool. My whole thing is I'm gonna go out deep in the woods, or my partner might even be standing there, and I might shed some tears. A real man know this.
Preach,
I'ma
preach.
just I'ma just be silent and let my partner get it out, man. Now when he all this, God, no, Negro, now hold up now. But we all know that. We all know that. You know what I'm talking about?
It's see, everybody's different. Maybe you might can't balance certain things. I got you. But other people can. It's different for everybody. I don't want to. It's different for everybody when it comes. No, I got you. I got
Okay. But okay, I'll land with that, man. But yeah, I could be there. I could be there for it. I could be
I
there for
appreciate that, brother. You just
Hey,
having
it. All
a
right.
hey,
conversation and building. Come on, Sco.
hey, Warren, let me ask you a question, bro. What if you cause the problem? What if you cause it? So you still have that same mindset?
I
What if you
mean,
cause her that trauma?
I'm not gonna do anything that traumatic to my wife, bro. I mean,
With it. And she ain't went nowhere in 23
yeah.
years.
You,
Thank you, man. Thank you,
Hell
man.
you
I'm just
mean?
saying, brother.
She ain't going nowhere, bro. Cause I ain't put my hands on her physically. I ain't had no outside babies or gave her no STD, bro. So she ain't got no reason to go nowhere.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna give a little pushback. I'm gonna see if Sco coming from this place to you and A1, right? What I learned is this. You there, D-Town? What I learned is this, right? We can do something that we deem to be not so bad, but
Exactly.
the person we did it to can really. And see, I don't know your business like that, but I'm pretty sure you might. You follow what I'm saying, brother?
Harsh mouth. So baby got a harsh mouth. I rubbed
Hold on.
off on her.
Say,
Okay,
say,
okay. Now hold on. Let me. The brother was. Come on, brother.
I'm gonna show you something, okay? Because I like the brothers on this panel. So I was gonna start a moving business, right? And like I do exceptionally well now, but back then, I was just trying. I was gonna start a moving business. My old lady told me. She said, "What you gonna start that for? You ain't gonna be able to do that. You ain't Rob. Rob is my A-Bone coon. He was the one that gave me the game on the move bit. She said this. What you gonna do that for? You ain't gonna be able to do that. You ain't Rob. Now listen. Now every man on here. Now this is my wife, the person who's supposed to support me, and I mean, no matter what, encourage me do. How do y'all think I took that?
She said it. She didn't stroke your ego when she said it. She said it in face value. You can't. My wife would have said, babe, I bet you can't do that. You too old. And I'm
And
gonna try
and
my best. She gonna stroke my ego.
now check this out. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't stroking my ego. She was like just
Turn you
letting me.
down.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's exactly what she wasn't stroking my ego at all. I took that to heart, and I bother about it to this day because when the money started rolling in, then she wanted to get on board. But the point I'm making is this, man, that stabbed a brother in the heart when she did that. Like, man, for real, literally. Carry it to this day. But
That's
I mean,
trauma. That's
yeah,
trauma,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
exactly.
That's
But
all I want to
do
know.
I do
That's
this?
trauma. Okay.
But what I'm
That's
saying,
why it's okay. Go ahead, brother.
but what I'm saying is,
I
what I'm gonna do,
appreciate that, Sco. You came
Yeah,
through,
man.
Sco.
Yes,
what
sir.
I'm
It's
gonna do,
fine. Go ahead, bro.
punish her for it and be like, oh God, I can't deal. Man, I'll blow that crap off, man, and keep on stepping, man.
But it's still on your head, though. It's still on your head because you brought it up. It's still
But
on your head.
May I ask
Right.
A1 a question?
It's
Yeah,
still on
yes.
your head.
A1, if I respectfully, I want to ask you a question. I remember my father sharing a story with me of a similar instance. He was a professional bodybuilder, and my mom told him, I don't know why you continue to do that. You're not going to win the contest anyways. Okay, no judgment here. I know that wasn't nice because he took a lot of time away from the house. So she was said that out of anger. But it bothered my father so bad that it hurt his heart, just like you said that, right? Because he took that.
Was
That's what
they was they married?
correct. They were
That was
married.
his wife. That wasn't your mama. That was his wife telling
That,
her
that
husband
was
that.
that is correct. That
Okay.
is correct. So with that being said, my question to you is, sir, do you deem that as traumatic or do you say she hurt my heart and my feelings?
That I would deem that as traumatic
Very
because
traumatic.
that's the person that you love the most. That's the person that I mean you're looking for this one person more and before anyone else to encourage you and for them
Correct.
if even if they don't say nothing that's way better than telling you you can't succeed and yeah it's trauma but I'm a man bro. I'm not going to let my emotions or something that happened in the past dictate my actions now, how I feel about her now or how I act towards her now. That's the difference.
Absolutely. So I guess my point, bringing it home, all the way home, a 360 is trauma has a lot of different variables because I'm kind of in the same mindset and thought process as you. I think that word is a little overused. When I hear some things, I'm like, but who am I to judge? Who am I to judge, right? As how the person receives it. But nevertheless, I guess my point is if it was a stranger that told you, you ain't gonna be able to do this moving business, it wouldn't have been so impactful as the person you lay next to that is there to encourage and support you. Therefore, it ends up being a little more traumatic than just hurt feelings.
Yeah, true that. True that.
Woman's words is just as powerful as a man's hand. So at the end of the
That's
day,
right.
we are all going to hurt and we are going to hurt somebody in the process. Only thing that matters is how you react to the trauma given to you or you give out.
And I
We,
think you need wisdom to know the difference if something's malicious intent.
you
Is
know,
this
at the age
person
of 12, when something is intentional, we don't have to say malicious because a lot of people don't understand big words. They say them, but don't understand the meaning of it. So I speak regular
no,
country English
that's
for
fine.
those who don't understand, because some people would take those words as, some people don't like highly intelligent speaking people. They just hear you talk, but I can understand exactly what you're saying. So I'm just going to break it down for them. Real layman terms. You get out of life what you get into it. If your heart is good, you're gonna end up with good. We all go through ups, downs, and sacrifices and losses in life. That's just a fact of the matter. What's hurting us the most is that we can do this on the phone, but in real life, we won't even have these discussions face to face. So this is like, I feel it. I love it because I'm learning social media as it go. I don't take this serious. I love the conversation and the dialect, but at the end of the day, this won't really seriously help nobody if you're not able to see that person face to face. This is a dialogue. Don't take it personal what's said.
No,
Continue.
it won't help. It won't help in a negative way, but it will. It could help in a positive way, brother.
Exactly.
But for how long? Because if you're
I
not
get,
there,
I
like
get, I
like the
get where
words
you're
that I
coming
say,
from,
the
huh?
words that I say, if you're not able to constantly reach me, like say I say something right now positive to help somebody, right? If they're not constantly able to reach me, because I'm their outlet, I coach young men. So in order for me to help them continue their healing, I have to be accessible at all times.
Nah, that's not always true. Now, if they dependent and codependent on you, then absolutely. But that's not always true. You can go to church and get a healing for that day in California, go to Texas, and that the teaching and that help can still be there. So if you say something here that's powerful enough to resonate with somebody, you could help them while you in wherever you at, brother.
Yeah, they'll reach out to me. They'll DM me. Say D-Town, like the young lady up there, Tassie, like, hey, y'all might not remember him, but hey, I'm gonna say something that might hurt your feelings, but it's gonna be truthful. Cause I really don't care about your feelings. I care about how you is.
Can
Okay,
I say something?
come on.
Okay, I just wanted to say men feel unsafe, and that's what that stops them from communicating, and that's where they have trust issues because when they try to open up and communicate, they get beat down, they get talked about, they get ridiculed. So it develops a type of trust issues for them. So when they shut down, that's why they shut down because they feel like they can't be safe to communicate. They can't be safe to open up. They can't be safe to be the man and the king that they are, that they know that lives on the inside of them. And at the same time, women women feel the same way, but we feel like men don't protect us because of the way they come at us and how they treat us and the things that they say out of their mouth. So at the same time, that's why the world is in a position and predicament it's in now. Nobody feels safe enough with one
Now,
another.
do you think
No,
that's trauma
it is. It
on who
is
on whose part?
on both. I think it's trauma on both.
To what level,
And
right? Say a woman feel unprotected by her man. Who is that on? Her or her man?
her man.
Right. I'm gonna push back on that and say it's on her because she hasn't dealt with the trauma which allowed her to not be able to facilitate the right man that she's supposed to be choosing.
And it also reflect on him adding to the trauma. See, we can add to each other's trauma.
That's right. That's correct. However, you do have a prerequisite there. Because if your discernment is carried, a young lady spoke, was it Rachel? She spoke and made a very good point earlier. She said, and this is, I feel, what I'll try not to move off my feelings. I'm gonna say what I what I've seen is what she said. She spoke and said her gut, which is the God within her, told her, don't you do that. And she said, I went and did it anyway, just to find out years later, I didn't follow my instinct. So
Hmm.
that man coming up, go ahead, I hear you. You said something?
No, go ahead. I'm letting you
I was
talk. I
saying, so that
respect
man
you.
coming to add, I want to make sure that's what the sister says. Is that what you said, sister? Okay, so that man coming to add a certain level of boom, sound like she took a certain level of accountability. That's why I was just giving you a little pushback. But I I hear you and feel you where you're coming from. I just try to talk.
Sound like you
Every
trying to use me for a reason so you continue to stay jacked up. That's what I'm getting up out of that.
I ain't gonna say that,
I'ma
but
say
I feel
it.
where you coming.
I'm gonna say it.
I feel where you coming from.
Like you using me as an excuse. You already came beaten broke down
Is that
and,
what you
and
doing, sister? What the brother saying? Well,
Me?
not you. I'm saying with the scenario you painted. Is that what they doing too? What he's saying?
No, I don't feel like that.
Okay.
I feel like everybody should open the door to their hurt and open the door to their pain so they could have a place of healing.
no, that makes me a woman.
Everybody walk around with wounds that has not been healed. And they always add on top of those wounds that hasn't been healed
Why
at
would
all.
me as a man want to open up to you? And I see women open up to other women and antagonize other women, but y'all still be in each other's face like y'all like each other. Why would a man want to open up to y'all?
You should open up to a woman
I seen
because
you use your own homegirl stuff against her. And you know what I'm saying?
you
Tell your
should
man. So why would
the
I want to
reason
open
I
up to you?
The reason I feel a man should open up to a woman that he can trust, not a woman that he cannot trust, but someone that he feel comfortable with and someone he feel like he can open up with. I feel like you should be able to open up and share your feelings and
In
share your
23
thoughts
years,
and
I've
share what's
seen that
going
there's
on.
certain things that I know not to say around my wife.
Hmm.
I know that.
Hold
That's
I'm
on,
a
D.
because
fact.
you've been
Hold on, D
traumatized.
Town. No, hold on, D Town. Hold on, sister. I want to ask the other two brothers, well, the three brothers, Floyd, you there? Fly, Floyd?
Yeah,
If
I'm
y'all
there.
there, I want y'all to speak to that about opening up real quick. Don't fly and land it real quick. Let's go. Floyd and A1. Can y'all do that for me? I think A1, you got a problem at your phone.
No, no, I'm fine. No,
Come on.
I think that's foolish. The most foolish thing a man can do is quote unquote open up and be vulnerable to a woman. I mean, why? That's stupid.
Okay, hold on, A1. I want Floyd and the
Interesting.
other brothers to speak. Come on, Sco. I don't
It
think Floyd.
depends on the situation.
I'm
It's
with Kevin
certain
Samuels. I'm
situations you don't
gone.
open up. Like she was saying, trust. You're looking for security. I could give you security that might help you in that situation, but the way I do it may not be a direct.
No, come on. I ain't hear
May
you.
not be directly. So, and just because I do it doesn't mean I have to tell you that I did it. But even though I did it, I know I did it, and if it helps you, it helps you. If it doesn't, then so
So
be
you
it.
saying you're open up.
I'm an open book. I tell you
Okay.
what I want you to know
All right.
Respect.
in the beginning anyway.
So can you answer?
You know what? If that's your wife, if that's your wife, that's your real, that's your girl, that's your real, it should be nothing that shouldn't be able to be said to her.
Thank
Okay.
And she,
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
and
you.
she,
Hold on,
she
Sco.
should not and she should not use that against you later in another argument. Bring her up, man, with your soft ass. No, she should never bring that up.
Okay,
And if
hold
she
on.
do, go ahead, brother. Go
No,
ahead.
I want to ask you this, Sco.
Go ahead.
I like how you painted that. You said wife. I want to take it off the wife. What if this your
Yeah, I say
close
girlfriend.
lady and you ain't made it to that stage yet?
Girlfriend, no, man. I have to keep that.
All right, all right, all
I have
right,
to keep that to myself.
all right.
If
I'm
that's
gonna do.
just if that's not my wife, no, I'm not gonna. We might talk about it, but that's not my wife. No, of
Okay,
course, I'm not gonna open up to her right now. No, it's just
all right.
my girl. No,
I'm finna
not
throw
right
one
now.
more
No.
monkey wrench. I'm finna throw one more monkey wrench at you, Sco. It's your
Okay.
fiance.
Then I'm gonna open up to her.
All right, all right. I salute you.
Exactly.
Come on, sister. I pass it
Agreed.
back to you, Daily Love.
Um, I just feel like, you know, men have been broken so much and they've been beat
That's
down
the
so
brother. I ain't
much
gonna let it happen
that
to you.
they so afraid to open up and trust because women, I'm gonna say us as women, not me per se. I'm gonna say us as women. Women always feel like it's all about them and they the only ones that hurt. They the only ones that go through. They the only ones that feel stuff. No, men hurt like we hurt. Men go through stuff like we go through. Men need a listening ear and a set of opening arms. They need that hug when they're going through the storm and going through the battles in life silently that they don't want to open up and talk. It should be some type it should be some type of emotion, some type of care, some type of love that will allow them to know that you could trust me. You could trust me with your deepest secrets, and I would not betray you. I would not fail you, but I would be there for you in the way that you think not.
Right. See, sister,
So
I really respect where you coming from, but that's more of you speaking from a position of wanting to see a positive interaction between those people. But what I learned over the years of being a child is so many brothers didn't have that nurturing spirit you speaking of, and now they compartmentalize those feelings, and as they grow, they're not able to get out of that. And it becomes a problem until you meet somebody like the brother up there said, and you become vulnerable. And then that person might even, my experience, my personal life, I don't really speak on a lot, but I try to speak from the calls I get into certain type of interactions that I receive. So what about that part?
I just feel like us as women, we have failed our black men,
Mm.
and they feel like they have to shut down. They feel like they have to close off. They didn't have that type of nurturing love and care that they deserve and need, and still today they need it. And me, I'm gonna nurture mine. I'm gonna love on mine. I'm gonna
Appreciate
protect
that,
mine.
sis.
I'm gonna be there for mine. And I'm not gonna betray him in no way necessary. Period. Whether I'm his girlfriend, whether I'm his fiance, or whether I'm his we married, I'm his wife. He gonna have a safe place with me,
Right.
and
Okay.
he's going to be able to open up. He's going to be able to share things that he felt like he couldn't share
So he gonna be
in
able,
his
run
childhood
up
and
on
now.
you. And he gonna be able to cry every day, huh? I'm just messing.
He can
I'm
do
just
that.
trolling,
And
sister.
I'm
I'm
going to
trolling.
comfort him, and I'm going to embrace him, and I'm
Yes.
going to love on him. I'm not going to betray him and talk about him and beat him down. That's the problem. Our man has been beat down so much, they don't know who and what to trust.
Appreciate that, sister. Yeah.
and Skull, you know what, brother?
Come on,
Skull, you
Skull.
know what, brother?
We'll let
Case
you
in
do that in
point,
a minute, A1. Come
case
on.
in point. I'm gonna go back to my pro football days, and I told you about this. When I got cut from the BC Lions in Canada, that was a setback. But it really hurt me when I got my tryout with the Browns in '95, and I got cut. I was like, oh Lord, that hurt. That hurt. So now my girlfriend who I was dealing with, my whole attitude changed, and she knew something was wrong. She knew something was wrong. I'm going, oh no, I'm cool, but she knows something was wrong. So I had to just sit down and just explain to her because I became withdrawn. So I was really upset by that. Like, who these people, they cut me for what? I mean, I know I can play this game. It's nothing that I can't do, but I had to understand the game itself. So I had to confide in her. I wasn't boohooing and crying. I was upset by that. Not that alone from cutting the money part, but for a man, it's his ego. It's ego for a man when something like that happens. So put it in life. If you cannot open up to your wife and you go open up to your homies, man, that's I don't know.
That's
Some
sad.
something
I like
some
that,
things
Skull.
some things my partners don't need to know about.
Like that, Skull.
Some things my homies who I've been tight since day one. Some things
Exactly.
they don't need to know about. I have to confide in my wife. Like, hey, babe, well, this is what's going on with me. Because who's going to notice your attitude changes? Not your boys, because you're not with them 24/7. Is going to notice that. And it goes vice versa. It's something going on with her. You're going to notice her attitude change, not for girls. Her girls are not going to notice it. You're going to notice it. So I see nothing wrong. And I'm not talking about every day, it just on every day. No, if I got something going on, I can handle the majority of the stuff. Sometimes things you need to discuss with your significant other, your wife. You need to sit down and have a conversation. So because
Sound like you
because
came up with a
Hey,
solution.
please.
man, listen,
That's
it's
what it
easy,
sound
man.
like.
This ain't chess, it's checkers, man. It's very easy. This ain't chess, this is checkers. Very easy game.
You
That's
know,
all.
but you sound like you came up with a solution, brother. You don't even know what it is. I'm gonna ask the sister, do she know what it is? What solution did he just come up with for all us, Daily Love?
To me, it's just trust, even if you don't want to trust.
Well, that's in there, but no, he said something. A wife. He said, "Oh, help me." He telling all the brothers to get married. You can confide in her, but some
Exactly.
But you know,
But can I say this, and I'm done? I just want to apologize to all my Black kings for whatever y'all endured and whatever y'all been faced with. And I want y'all to know that y'all are wanted and y'all are needed. And we need you. We need y'all more than y'all think. And I love all of y'all. And my heart go out to y'all. They feel like all women are not the same. A lot of us sympathize with y'all. A lot of us understand y'all. And I'm one of them. And I appreciate y'all. And I'm so sorry for what y'all endured and what stops y'all from opening up to us and being able to trust us. And I even apologize to our queens. And at the end of the day, we got to do better.
We really appreciate that, sister. That's some powerful words you said.
You're welcome.
We
You know,
appreciate.
Let's stay down.
I just wanted to piggyback off what she said really quick. I don't want to generalize or use absolutes. And this may, that people may disagree with me, which is quite all right. I feel like we are more similar than we are different. Men and women are more similar than we are different from just a human experience perspective. We may interpret, we may process things differently, but at the end of the day, our outcome and objective is typically the same. We just may choose a different route to get there. So I've choose to focus on how we are similar and compatible. So for instance, everybody likes to feel taken care of. Man or woman, who doesn't like that? Who doesn't like someone to pay for their lunch? So there's no problem with paying for a dude's lunch. That's not inherently your responsibility. It's like, come on now, man. We put so much expectations on each other. We don't even give each other grace, that we're all fallible. Like, it's, let's be realistic here. And that's really just kind of the point I wanted to bring home, was just like, that would hurt. When my father told me that, my mom said that hurt my feelings, because I was a daddy's girl. And I was like, dang, Ma, you said that to him? Like, that hurt my heart, So at the end of the day, we all just want love and acceptance. And you know what? I've learned some things from men, and of course myself being a woman, but I will say this: compartmentalizing is not always a bad thing now.
Yeah.
I've learned to do that, because I used to be a little bit needy emotionally, and I still somewhat am. I can admit to that. But I have gotten pretty good at being like, okay, you know what, Rachel, you work from 9 to 5. After that's out, you cut it off. You move on to the next thing. And mentally, you've got to be strong. So I land my plane at that.
No, don't land that plane, because you said something about buying us lunch. Now, what type of lunch we talking?
Hey, I mean,
I'm hungry right now. I'm ready to put my cash app in the comments. I'm ready to put my cash app in the comments right now.
Hold on, sister. Sound like she got it, Thanos. I need to know what you want, Sco. I need to know what you eating. I want some steak.
I want to be a Kansas City boy. I want to be a Kansas City boy from Fleming's downtown. I
hey,
want to be a Kansas City
listen
bro.
here. Hey,
It's $85.
I appreciate the sister. I
Run that.
appreciate y'all.
Run that.
Come on,
$85.
Thanos. We ain't get a chance to holler at you.
hey, listen. It comes with not an expectation, but I know you guys are just being funny. But in real talk, I have a friend that's I took him to lunch, and it's not no kudos on me. It's just that I hate to see that someone's always putting out they bill. I'm a contributor by nature. I always want to feel like I'm contributing. And another thing I wanted to say is women are protectors as well, just in a different form. We are supposed to protect our husbands, our significant others emotionally, creating a safe space for this man to be able to share at his will when he's comfortable and gain trust. It's like you just can't tell everybody your whole life story and then be shitty if they tell some, well, that was kind of foolish on your part, but you break them off in increments. Can I trust you with that? Okay, she was good with that, or he was good with that. I'm gonna break you off a little bit more. All right, I see they've been faithful here. You start small. So I really, in my life, I'm trying to pay attention to a character. Don't get me wrong. I want a good looking man. Beauty's in the eyes of the beholder, as long as he looks good to me. But you got to come correct. And that includes myself. I'm not going to expect nothing from no man that I can't deliver on myself. And I'll say this last thing, and I promise, I am a big fan of people who keep their word. You have got my you've got my respect, and you got my trust. And I'm talking about down to small things. Yo, babe, I'm gonna be there by noon. If it's 12:30 and I ain't hear from you, forget it. I ain't rocking with you.
What about if you hear from them and there was something that happened?
Okay, well then there's exceptions to the
I'm
rule.
just making. I'm just.
There's exceptions.
I'm just picking. We appreciate that.
I just sent my cash out.
Come on, sister up top.
Hey, hold on.
Driving. Thanos, you want to speak to the thing?
Yeah. I want to say this. I want to touch on two things. When the brother was saying that a man is crazy for opening up to another woman, or she got to be his wife. Okay, I'm gonna say this first and foremost. If we gonna talk about the original essence and existence of a woman, we got to consider this here. The Creator never made a girlfriend, none of that. The Creator made a wife. He didn't make none of the stuff that we try to take steps to get. Our black women were created originally, fresh from the Creator's hands, as a wife. That's what she was presented as, a wife. That's what she will always be known as, a wife. Nothing less than that. Anything higher than that, that's a realm of existence. So a lot of men, they feel like they gotta marry her in order to treat her like, you know what I'm saying, something she was before she even got married. Before she even walked down the aisle with you, that's what the fuck she was to you. So you felt the need to try to solidify what she been. You can't go through the law to validate or solidify something as something when it's been that all its existence. So when it comes to a woman, I'm not gonna open up to a woman if she not my wife. Then you not ready for a woman. Because I'm gonna tell you this here, man. Me and my wife, and I'm gonna tell y'all this here. We never cheated on each other, but we done lied to each other, played games with each other, all the little immature, foolish shit. But you know what we did? We learned how to listen to each other through the bullshit and we was learning that we was really dumping out quote unquote trauma, but at the same time loving each other and defining each other through our traumas. Because if I'm just like I told her, if I'm in a relationship with you, I'm in everything that consists of your makeup when it comes to you. Your traumas are mine. You being upset, that's because of me. You mad, that's because of me. You ain't feeling like talking to me, we both gonna drink some water and sit our ass down. So with that being said, that's the number one thing that I learned about loving my beautiful wife. Because guess what? When I got her in my life, I didn't get a girlfriend. I didn't get somebody I'm getting to know. I got a wife, and I'm going to treat her like that. We're going to go through everything we got to go through. But it's worth it because she is mine and I am hers. Once we came to that conclusion, it became perfectly fine to tell each other, you name it. It was perfectly fine. Okay, listen, I don't care if you like it or not. Just go get you a bottle of water. Listen to what I got to say. You get mad, go sit your head down on the couch, drink that bottle of water. I'll come back and rub your feet or something. Because we understand that it don't matter what's going on in our life. We got to be honest. And what a lot of dudes don't understand, when you was open and honest with a woman who is not used to that, you trying to show her that it's okay. You're going to meet somebody that's going to value you and cherish you through your honesty, through your openness. And she might meet 10 dudes where she was honest to on them, but she meet you. You show her, listen, you can be honest with me. You can talk to me. You can be real with me. I know what them other dudes did was wrong, but listen, man, I'm here to grow with you through everything you've been through. That's why they are like, why are men trying to limit a woman's access to all of him when he was made to have a woman in his life forever? If she is my one and only, why am I limiting her access to me? This is my one and only. If it don't work out, I'm gonna make it work out. If we on bad terms, we gonna make it good on bad terms. Because I don't have it in me to be trying to get to know something else when the woman I got right here, she's worth it. That's why she's my person. That's what makes her perfect. And she's my everyday purpose. That's the big difference. A lot of dudes don't open up to women, has nothing to do with trauma. They just don't know how to be with a woman. The only way to be with a woman, you gotta be open. You got to let her feel you out. You got to. And one thing about it, you may not like how you was being felt out, but guess what? In the end, it's gonna be beautiful. I stand on this like it's the law of the law. Me and my woman, my wife, my one and my only. We started out lying to each other. Listen to this grown black man telling you how he hurted his black woman. But through that hurt of her hurting me and me hurting her, we grow together. We is imprinted. We is inscribed with each other because we had issues. We had things, we was like facing in life, and we met each other and we just went to going at each other, fighting each other, lying and popping up missing, blocking each other numbers, playing all type of crazy crap. But when it was all said and done with, I will go through that 1,000,000 times with that woman because the reward is her. That's the reward, my one and my only. Ain't nothing coming in between that. And when I hear men say that they don't open up to women, it's only because they not ready to be with a woman. They want a girl. And see what you do with a girl, you give her kibbles and bits. What you do with a woman, well, you got to give her the world. And the man is the only one can create the world. So why you trying to give her a rock when you really need to be giving her the world? The reason why you giving her a rock, because you don't want to give her everything you know she deserves naturally, because she's a wife naturally. I land my plane. I love y'all. I need something to eat.
All right, brother. All right. You come, hold on. Let me just,
Thanos, could you say that again, man? Because my goddamn eardrums just blowed out. Thanos, say that again, brother. Repeat all that, but turn it down, Thanos.
I really like the brother. I missed a little bit of. I really,
Thanos, that's my man, 100 grand right there, boy.
I really
Thanos
appreciate
is
it.
something else.
2BZ.
I just like to give it to y'all like that because the sister said it true. We do, us men, we go through a lot. The world beat us down. We got all these stigmas and criteria we gotta meet. You know what I'm saying? To do this and do that. We done been through you name it and made it through you name it. So why I told this one black activist, I said, why you going to another race and telling them to listen to your cries when your woman is the only one that can wipe your tears, boy? Your black woman is the only one who can wipe your tears. Why is you crying to another race? Why? Your black woman is the only one can heal you. Why you going to the hospital? Your black woman is the only one can listen to you from a therapeutic standpoint. What you going to see a mental health counselor for? Your black woman is your everything. That's God knew what He was giving Adam when He gave Adam what He gave him. He gave him something that he never ever could get rid of. And I'm gonna say this too now. Just check this out. Adam represents royalty. Even though Eve did what she did and got them kicked out, guess what he never did? He never left his woman. He never left his chosen gift. He never left her. Eve disobeyed and got them kicked out the garden. But guess what Adam said? Okay, you might have got us kicked out of the garden, but God ain't take you out my life. So guess what? You're going to stay there no matter what. I'm just getting it to you, man. It's bigger than me, man. I need to drop that cash out, but I showed up like me a little steak and shake.
Yeah, boy. 2BZ, come on, hold on. Let me get my boy. Let me get him in there, brother.
What's up? How you doing?
Okay, hold on one
Uh,
second, brother. Come on, brother. Come on, speak to us.
uh, I'm not even taking a woman with no trauma, period. So I'm not even gonna put that on my plate.
Okay, speak on
Yeah, I mean, right now the way I look at dating and dealing with people, I mean,
it.
I'm gonna send her to counseling because I can't help her, you know, because I think that cognitive behavior and good behavior and bad behavior need to be recognized before you even start a partnership. Um, but no, I would only date somebody without trauma.
You know what, brother? And I get that, man, because it comes to a point where you're not a therapist. You're not a therapist, so you have to let someone with a professional person help them because that can bring you down trying to help them. That can
You
send you
know,
somewhere that you don't want to be.
well,
I get it.
I want a healthy, cognate sister. That loves herself. And she's spiritually, mentally inclined. She respects men. There's a lot of women that don't respect men, and I understand that because they had trauma with different people. But I don't want to have to work through that. You know,
It can
uh,
be rough. It can be rough. I get it.
But everybody have baggage.
yeah, but it's not up to me to help you. It's up to the yourself. It's called Islam. Yourself. You got to help yourself. Because I don't want to be your punching bag, your verbal punching bag. I want to be somebody that
You
can.
wouldn't be the punching bag, you would be the supporter. Instead of going out in the streets, if you're supposed to be the man or the person that they are speaking with, why can't you suggest, why don't
If
you
I,
try this?
Hey, Sar.
Instead of
man,
pushing them
man,
Hey,
out.
ma'am,
hey,
I hear
Queen
you, man. But
Sar.
if I
Star
was in a
5W, yeah.
relationship with a woman,
Hey, hey, hey,
I'm
hey,
gonna I'm
Sar.
gonna value
Yeah.
I'm gonna evaluate the woman. I'm
Okay,
not
okay.
I'm
So,
not I'm
so
not
my
taking
Hold
question
on,
is
no
hold
this
on,
here.
advantage.
hold
My
on.
question
I
is this
can't hear
here.
him.
Why? Okay. Do
I'm
he
not.
put his kids? Do he put his kids through therapy when they need to get it out?
Number one,
No, you shouldn't. You should sit down and talk with them. That's
my
what
kid
the
my
problem is nowadays. These teenagers or these kids are trying to be adults. They bring, even though they have a mother in the household, they have a father in the household. The father's working, the mother's working. Who got the kids? They watching everything on TV. They playing these games. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I raised my daughters on my own. My daughters turned out fine. You know,
That's a
um,
blessing.
and I understand how kids work. You know what I mean. But at the same time, yeah, I'm gonna talk to my kids. But I was talking from a standpoint of view if I'm a bachelor. I don't have a beautiful young lady in my life, and God hasn't sent that woman to me yet. Because my venting up the way my dating process, I make sure that the young lady I date is healthy in the mind. I'm not taking up nothing that's not healthy. I don't want to be abused, and I don't want to take on. I don't want no broken cars. I want a brand new car, with no miles on it. So that's what I'm looking for. Somebody that's already healed and ready to love, because you'll get hurt dealing with hurt people. Hurt people.
So you don't want
No,
a new car. You want
women.
to you want a refurbished car. You don't want nothing new. You
No, I don't want
Right.
to. But I hear
All of
you
that is
though.
understandable, but
Mhm.
even
What I
though,
mean, what I mean by
women,
new
listen
is
to
that
this. If a
somebody has a new
woman,
I know what
mind.
you're talking about, brother. I'm
Yeah.
just
okay,
Thank
listen
you
to
very
this.
much.
If a woman had a past of being hurt or whatever, she's not gonna bring that hurt to you. She's gonna let you know this is what I've been through. I don't want to go through that again. So that whole relationship is gonna be totally different. You might have went through something in your past, far as, for instance, your father may not have been in the home. Maybe he was. I'm not. I'm just saying.
Uh,
Some men don't know how to be men. They need a
well,
woman for us to be a mother figure to them. You understand what I'm saying? It's a lot of that that's going on.
Listen, I understand exactly what you're saying. I'm not one of them gentlemen. I don't need no mother figure. I don't need a woman to baby me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the daddy around here. She gonna come to me. You know what I'm saying? She gonna put her head on my lap. I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? I love women and I know they're delicate. You know what I mean? But I stand on me. You know what I mean? So she can be feminine and she can be a man. I don't need no woman to rest my head on. You know what I mean? She can rest on me for sure. You know,
Y'all should be
I'm not,
resting on each other.
baby girl. She resting on me. I don't need to rest on her. You know what I mean? I'm solid. There's a difference.
And
You
I
might
get
have
that. I'm
somebody
saying if
that,
y'all on the
yeah.
couch, y'all watching a movie, she might be there first, and then you come, from the shower, or hey, you might want to relax. She
That's
might
not
want to
what he's
I'm,
hold
talking about,
you.
Sean. Sean, he's not
I'm
talking
not, I'm
about
not,
like
I'm
that.
not,
He's not talking
I'm
about
not
like that.
talking. I'm talking
I
about
know
mentally.
oh,
Yeah, yeah. No,
mentally. Okay.
yeah. If she's a nurturer, she's gonna do her part. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I'm mentally sustained and ready to be in a relationship and understand. That's just me. I'm just giving you my point of view.
Right.
But yeah.
Host, like, did you call on me by chance?
Yeah. Come on.
Okay, I fell asleep. I don't know if you called on me and I didn't answer. I
I
dozed
did,
off.
I did probably about a day or two ago. I called looking for you.
Oh Lord, forgive me. I'm so sorry.
I called for you a little while ago, not that long.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why, but apparently I needed it.
Hey, you said you was going to top out earlier. You fine?
Okay, okay. So I understand what 2BZ is saying, and I think it has to come a time where we appreciate men who, want to lead and accept that role of, taking it on. And I also, there's something called preferences. Somebody has an echo. Um, Something called preferences, right? So I personally, even though host, I've talked about healing and I'm pro healing from trauma and different things like that. At my big age, I wouldn't, if I see that you're not healed from your trauma and you have a lot of things going on, I'm not gonna engage. You know what I'm saying? You can't help people who don't want to help themselves. At our big age, we should have been doing what this quote talked about earlier. We should be going to therapy and doing the healing work. But if I find out, if I'm talking to you, and I'm not gonna shame you, and I find out you have issues, you don't even have know that you have those issues, sir, respectfully, I'm going to dismiss myself. You know why? Because I did my work. I did the work. Now I'm ready for another healed person to come together and go. I'm almost 40 this year. I don't got no time. There's just a time you get to, you're like, listen, I love you. Even if it's family member. I have family members. My bigger brother has refused to take any accountability of sort, any healing of sort. And we grew up together, so I know what he suffered. I love him. I will support him. I will send him money. I will help him however I can. But I cannot have him in my inner
What's up,
circle. You know
sis?
why? Because they will pull you back to that healing place. Just because you've done the healing work does not mean that you don't have the wounds that are still fragile, that they cannot open up and ooze up again. So you have to protect your healing, I'm telling you. And it's not that you don't love people, it's because everybody has their own journey that they go through called life. And you have to move out of the way and let them figure it out if they have refused to take your input. So I understand what 2BZ is saying exactly.
All right.
That what my sister, sister said she sent bro money. What's up, sis?
I don't know what happened.
Hello.
I just be proud of y'all. Hey, big play off in the drop.
I know.
Talk to my wife.
I
I'll
always
be right
appreciate you,
back,
man.
man.
I will get a chance to do it again. I was missing a little bit of it, but I appreciate you, man.
I'm still here. I'm just gonna drop. I'm
Okay,
watching,
okay.
but
Thank,
let me talk to my wife.
okay, thanks, brother.
I just feel like people should have their mental toolbox together before they get together. You know, some people don't have their tools to be engaging with another human being. I mean, some people are not ready to be of goodwill and service, or not. Some people are ready to hurt. You know, so you have to find somebody that's in line with you.
You know, sometimes I feel like
You can't hear you, sister. That's you, sister?
yeah, I think there's an echo.
Okay, hold on. All right.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that sometimes this trauma or wounds or flaws or whatever have you are revealed over time.
Right.
Some people interview really well,
Right.
so it's almost not even worth asking the question because the character over time is going to be revealed in and of itself. They
Right.
don't tell you one thing because that's going to hit your eardrums nicely, but in actuality, they can't hide it.
Right.
So we have to be very observant of someone, and I think there's some indicators. And for me, it's do you do what you say you're going to do is one of my indicators to build trust. That's just me personally.
With you. I heard you before I dozed off, Rachel. I'm so sorry. I agree with you when it comes to, your word being your bond. That's my biggest thing. I watch not just what you say, but what you do. And it can be the little things, right? And I see how consistent you are. I don't care really how much money you have. I don't care how much stuff you have. If you do not respect your own word, there is a problem.
Yes.
It's a
Hold on, sister. Hold on, sister. I gotta give. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Come on.
No, you go ahead. What were
Oh,
you
the
gonna
young lady
say?
came up. Come on. I'm about to troll. Come on, sister
No,
Rachel.
you were about to troll. Okay, so that is a
Now
big
you do
one.
people. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Star. Come on, Star. Shy.
Huh?
That was you. I'm sorry. Come on,
That
Dick.
was me.
Come on. Come on.
First of all, host, you need to share that yummy stuff I saw you showing earlier. You be sitting in there not sharing nothing. I have a beef to pick with you, sir. Uh,
I just want to take a moment to say, host, I like you, and I've never really given a host kudos, but like I appreciate that you're engaging and like you're trying to get everybody included and you have something that's pretty positive to talk about. So thank you for that. I appreciate you for that.
I appreciate you, sister, but we have some conversations that's a challenging conversation, and we may go
Sure.
back and forth. But these people build. I like that they come in here and they build. Even when they might disagree, I let them figure it out. They get to it, and they'll have a balance. So it's just good to have a conversation. I appreciate you, sister. But I wanted to speak. I'm gonna let Miss They Pick Me call. Come on, we ain't heard nothing from you. Hey, girl, with them red seats.
I just got up here, but I've been in the comments. A couple of things I wanted to say is I think women, in our attempt to help men, we kind of go overboard. I think at the end of the day, we're still not listening, right? We're still wanting to do what we think that we should be doing, as opposed to what the man is saying that how their makeup is. Women can't tell men what they need, right? We need to listen to the men as to what their needs are. Listening to the men talking about, and they're not on the panel any longer, about the trust. Women have to acknowledge that women are catty and women will use things for ammunition. And so that does affect the relationship. You'll use it if you have friends, you'll use it if you have family. Women are just catty. Now, again, when I say that, I'm not talking about every woman on the panel, because if it's not you, it's not you. But I don't think there's any woman that can say they don't know a woman like that. Men see. Exactly. Men see and they observe. So they hold on to some things because of how we act. So I do think we have to do better. That's one thing. I also feel that women are not clear on what a man is, because so many have not seen a man, have not grown up with a man and a father in their lives. When a real man comes and says, this is how a man is, they push back because it's foreign to them.
There you
It's
go.
like you've been eating fast food all your life, and then you get some nice cuisine that's healthy. Your palate is used to the fast food,
That's a
so
fact.
you're not accustomed to what a good man is. And we are constantly saying, well, no, you should do this, or no, let the man tell us what a man is. I think so many times women have been dealing with boys, dealing with my sister calls them man child, men child. You know, they're in the physical form of a man, but mentally they're still childlike. And a lot of us have dealt with that type of a man, but or man child. But when we get a real one, we don't know how to act. We push back. No, we try to make them feminine. God created us different. At the end of the day, he is the head. And as the head, he's not going to be as mushy as we are a lot of times. He's going to have moments where he may need our support, but we have to allow him to act in his greatness and be the great leader that he is, instead of trying to make him like us. We want the man to be feminine. We want him to feel the feelings that we feel. We want him to be emotional, right? And for the most part, that's just not how God made him as a leader to us. Because at the end of the day, if we had a very emotional man constantly crying to us, constantly complaining about everything, we would be complaining about him being weak. So I say this to say that we as women have to understand our roles. And if you have never seen a relationship, you know, a healthy relationship between a man and a woman, to me, that's the first trauma that you need to get help with, right? Because you need to understand your role as a woman. If you've never seen it, you don't know how to be it. So I say that we keep talking about men and their trauma. Women have trauma too. Many of them did not have fathers or a father figure. That's major trauma. Have we been to get help about that? Because that trauma that we have affects how we interact with men, with real men. And that's why a lot of us choose boys or choose men child, because they're comfortable for us, right? But a man who's going to be a leader, you can't push him around. You can't tell him what to do, because he's standing in his essence of what God created. And when we learn that, and when we learn to deal with our traumas and learn how a man's role is and a woman's role, I think we'll be better off as a people. I land.
Yes, yes.
The church
Amen.
say amen.
Amen.
Amen, church.
Yes, ma'am. That's she said it so eloquently. But where's your clapping button at? Where's the clapping button?
Hold on.
He's slipping.
Amen. 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 Let the church give the man grace. MC Field.
One more thing, host, before just one more thing, and I'm gonna land. The
Three more.
host
Yeah, three
really
more.
has on his panel, he has attracted a lot of men. I don't know if you all have noticed this. When we've been on these panels, we have a lot of men. They're very respectful to the women on the panel. We're allowed to have nice conversation, but they stand 10 toes on business, right? So this host is attracting a lot of men. We've had a couple of boys, a man child on here, but for the most part, he attracts men where we have healthy conversations. And I just say, women, just start looking at what real men are. I land.
Well, Candy, that's why some of us keep coming back.
Amen. Amen to the sisters. Amen. All right, bro.
Looking for a real
To the
man
sisters.
thriving? Is that
Amen
why
to
you
the
coming
sister.
back?
Hell yeah.
Amen to the sister.
Why
Oh, okay.
come on here?
So, host, you need to start matchmaking.
Now, I'm gonna be honest.
Nah, man, don't do that.
Come on, brother.
What's going on, man? I've been checking you out lately. You're doing real good out there. Big shout out to you.
Thanks, man. You want to speak? You want to speak, brother? Oh, yeah. Brother. You there, brother? Brother. We We can't hear you, I don't think, brother. You might got to.
Matrix right now, man. He in the matrix right now.
You're in the matrix, brother.
He in the
Thanks, y'all.
matrix. But okay, but I'm gonna
You're
say
in the
this.
matrix, brother.
I'm ready to throw a rock and have my hand real quick.
Come on,
All
throw
y'all, all y'all women is crazy. Y'all check engine light be on all the time. All right, bye. I gotta go.
it. He, brother, you got to get out and come back. You ain't working. We lost you, brother. MC Phil, you got to come back, brother. You got to come out there and come back. The matrix, man. That mean your phone not getting. We not. You in the matrix, brother. Go
That's
ahead,
that
sister.
boost. That's that boost mobile, brother. That's that boost. That boost is a mess.
You might be out the country.
That's okay. Come on, come on, come on. Issy feels. Come on, man. Put some more quarters in that box. Put some more quarters in the box. Put some more quarters in there.
You can't get you, Phil. You got to try to come back, brother. Come on, sister Shaw.
Man, he tried to do it on a flip phone. Can't do it on a flip phone. You gotta talk on a damn
Oh,
brick.
I had a flip phone at a point. Come on, sister Rachel.
Yeah, man, he wasn't trying to stream from it though.
Go, you out of line.
Out of line. That was a good one. Uh, Thriving, you had said something. Okay, hold on. Let me try to get him.
No, now if I lose connection, he's gonna be like, put some coins in there.
2BC, you wanted to say something, 2B? Well, I was trying to let the brother get in, but he couldn't get in.
You know, I could say something. I've been with various different types of women, and I don't blame anything on no woman. I just blame things on experience and how I deal with the experience with the woman, because everybody lives different lifestyles. I blame black love. I mean, I think that sometimes black men don't like black women, and sometimes women don't like the black man experiences because of their past traumas. Causes the black family not to get along. Sometimes it just don't hit at the same time. Sometimes you find people that's been hurt, and then you run into that hurt person, and then now they heartless because the last person hurt them. So I just feel like
A lot of that.
just an individual thing that hurt people, and hopefully on this panel everybody finds somebody that just wants to love. The world is missing love. It's a lot of women that is really out to hurt a black man. There's a lot of black men that's out to hurt black women because they've been scoring and hurting at the trauma. So hopefully, you find love and learn how to nourish it. I land my plane.
I appreciate that, man. That's real talk, brother. There's a lot of people out here that's doing that to each other. I appreciate that. Miss Wilson, you want to speak? Williams?
Yeah, I was just gonna say you had it right, Wilson. Some folks are again, I preface everything we're not generalizing, but there are some individuals out there that attract those that are hurting. It's almost as if that person has they kind of are almost self-righteous where they like to um extend this healing grace and properties and all this to these people. And
Trauma bonds? Is that what you're
thank
referencing?
you. Maybe that's what I was trying to say.
Who said that? She took it out. She took the word from me.
I'm sorry, host.
Yeah, I
I
guess
gotta watch you. I gotta
that's
watch
exactly
you.
what I was wanting to say. Some people connect with folks like that, and it's they intertwine over hurt, and it's kind of a dysfunction actually, when you step back from an objective viewpoint and look at it. Maybe they're getting what they need to out of it, but some folks just tend to attract people who are always in a bind or something. You know what I mean?
Facts. What do you recommend? I think we all. I'm under the impression that we all either have a family member like that, or have friends like that, or have had friends like that, or have had family like that. what do you recommend? How do you deal with that? What's your recommendations of how you deal with somebody like that? Not necessarily because I got the picture up there, but it appears as a relationship as a romantic thing, but I mean just in general, because you can have an auntie or a cousin or somebody. You see what I'm saying? What you recommend for that?
Right. Right.
'Cause you can push aside your spouse. I'm not saying you can, but I'm saying you can remove them quicker than you could. Well, I don't even know if it's quicker, but different than you can remove your mom or your dad or your sister. You follow what I'm
Right.
saying? He cheat on you, y'all break up. You don't want him at the family functions, he's not there. But your sister, cousins, they always gonna pull up to that family function.
Right. I guess somebody needs to check their motives. Like if you feel like you're always trying to fix people, maybe you need to take an opportunity. I'm just speaking just, to those specific folks, that's an interesting mindset. I don't quite understand because I'm not in the business of
I
fixing
know.
people because I don't believe you can unless they want to be. And I'm not no one's savior. So I can come alongside you and be a supporter and an encourager. But as far as fixing the problem, I got my own problems I gotta fix over here in my own trunk.
I think fixers think they're supporting.
Exactly.
I
And
think in their mind,
right.
they're trying to support that person. But if you think about it, and I'm saying this because I was one of those actually, Rachel. I was someone who always wanted to help
Thank
him,
you, sister. Thank you.
help him.
Uh-huh.
I wanted him to know he had somebody. I wanted
Yeah.
him to know I was going to have his back. I wanted him to know I got him from the Rudy to the
Come
Tootie.
on, sister. Come
But you
on.
can't do that for someone who's not ready, right? You give that energy to someone who's healed. I couldn't heal him just by being there for him. There were other
Correct.
things, and I found that there was something with me that was attracting that type of man. So
Uh-huh.
I had to look inside of me to say, what's going on with me? I can't keep blaming them because the common denominator was me. And so I get what you're saying. In our minds, we gonna do anything for our man. We got him. We gonna make sure he's good, but he ain't good because what happens is you're giving and you're giving, and guess what he's doing? He's taking, and he's
Right.
taking because he's not healed, right? So
Right.
so I get exactly what you're saying. We can't fix people. They either come healed or they're not. Now, if you're with somebody for years and some trauma resurfaces, that's a different situation. I don't think you say, I'm not dealing with you, right? I think
Correct.
you work through that. But I'm talking about people that have they just have issues, right? They whether it's daddy beat them, they've been molested. Oh, I can't say that word. They've been touched. Whatever their childhood trauma was that they hadn't healed from, that was that. And then the big one is some of these men who aren't in their children's lives, but they can go and see the child at any time, but they always blame her. And I'm saying that's not all men, but that's some. Again, that's dealing with the trauma of not knowing how to be a father, how to be present in that child's life. And so you don't know how to say that. You don't know how to say, well, I didn't have a daddy, so I really don't know what I'm doing. Right? And that's trauma too. So there's so many traumas, but I get you, Rachel. I don't think I do no more, but I used to attract that, but I had to recognize that within myself that I tried to fix them.
Yes, ma'am. And Ms. Day, it's sometimes trauma happens along the relationship. Two couples are together. We'll just use the instance a married couple, and they experience the really sad and unfortunate experience of maybe one of their children passing. That's traumatic, and they go through that together. And sometimes it takes that for someone to show how they grieve, and maybe you're not even prepared for the devastation that your husband or wife may feel. One may heal a little bit fast. It's there's degrees to it, I guess is what I'm saying. And I've heard a lot of people, I thank God I've never been in this scenario, but people have had to go to counseling, and sometimes they even divorce because one couldn't seem to move past it, or they, all variations of relationship that took place. So there's all kinds of dynamics at play,
Host, to go back to your question, right? If you have a family member, and they tend to, come to you a lot, or they have issues. First of all, let me say this. The savior complex, as much as somebody comes out, and no offense to anyone who does this or who has done this, and they come up and they want to save everybody, that is a trauma response, actually. That is an indication that someone who's trying to do that, to be the Jesus for everyone, has trauma, unhealed trauma. Which trauma, we don't know. The person who hyper-independence is a sign of trauma. These are red flags people don't think about. It could be hidden as overdrive or being overdriven, but that's trauma. Codependency, extreme codependency to someone, that's an indication of trauma. People who are constantly looking for approval, they're trying to fill the void. There's something that happened that made them do that. There's so many signs you will not guess, but I'm telling you that it's a sign of trauma. The best way to gauge a healed person is, are they balanced in approach of life? The people who are too black or too white or too red or too blue, and it's all extreme, that is not healthy. I'm telling you. But if you try to see life objectively and try to find a balance in life, you'll be okay. It's not that you cannot be independent, but too much of it is not good, right? It's not that you're not seeking, you can seek approval through peers and stuff like that, but constantly, every day, every other day, putting yourself in harm's way to get attention, that's not healthy. So there's these red flags that people don't think of unless it's so, blatantly in your face. But for family members like that, though, you have to realize, they're hurting. There's something going on, but you can only do so much. Have you heard, when you're on an airplane, I'm sure you've traveled quite a bit, right? They tell you, put on your mask, your face mask, if something goes wrong before you help your neighbor. Why do they tell you to do that?
Hold on, Tribe.
Before you
Wait,
help
I want to hear what you said, and I'm gonna tell you what I think. Come on.
Right. It's because
You gotta be
you're gonna run out of oxygen if you're not careful, or if you were swimming, right, and somebody's drowning in the ocean and they're fighting you, you're trying to get them out of the
All
water.
right, listen, you brought that up. I'm finna go left. But
Go ahead.
why you think they asked you to put that mask on when that plane finna go past finna go? Why you think they asked you that?
Are you trying to? Is this a trick question? I can already see you laughing.
All right, I'm sorry. But that was a real good point you're making. But go ahead. No, I'm just trolling.
Because you're gonna mess around. You try to put a mask on them, and you're not gonna have time. You're gonna run out of oxygen before you get your mask on. So it's the whole point. We are not Jesus. Jesus has already done his job. We have our own mission and responsibility while we're here. Now, listen, I am pro healing, and I will share my story, and I'll encourage people. But I've learned quickly, if I'm in your presence and either what I'm giving you is not helping you or you don't want it, I'm gonna remove myself. You know what I'm saying? If I'm trying to help you with something, but you push away, you're fighting me more than you taking the help, and I know I can help you, it's not time yet. It doesn't even make you a bad person. It's not time for you to comprehend yet. I'm gonna move out my way, let you learn the lesson out of disobedience and out of life way, instead of taking advice that could have saved you time and energy, money, all kinds of things. Then when you learn, you're gonna share with other people, say, hey, I had a chance to listen. I didn't listen, and I learned the hard way. I don't wish that for you. And let people choose. That's it.
Pastors lying to the public, they ain't got the truth in them. Lights out, gas off, bootless, this city pimping. Blocks on fire cause the homeowners broke as fuck. Taxes up, water bill higher than a semi truck. It's a bigger play. Death before dishonor is the only way. Yeah, I tried to follow, but they led astray. Sorry, but not sorry.